I don't know. You know, uh, I just don't have a lot to say. The news is just devastating to everybody who knew him, known him a long time, and he means a lot to me. Obviously, he was such a great opponent. You know, um, it's what you want in sports. Um, he had that DNA that very few athletes can ever have. You know, the Tiger Woods and the Michael Jordans. You know, it's funny. I was getting to know him more since he retired. Yeah, this is a tough one. I don't. We have to go play. Uh, the news is just so devastating for Vanessa and his family, and there's just so many people he touched. It's looking at my young players and seeing how emotional they are. Uh, they didn't even know him, and it just tells you how far his reach was. So, this is just shocking news for all of us. And sorry, I don't have a lot to say. I just can't. I have to go talk to a team before a game and tell them to play a game.
Man, words can't explain it, man. For myself, learning everything I've learned basketball-wise from Kobe, what he meant to the game, the inspiration that he brought to the world. Not just that, his daughter. I'm a father. I can't imagine something like that, happening. It's a sad, very sad day.
Amanda, I didn't know until Joey just told me coming off 18 green. I didn't really understand why the people in the gallery were saying doing it for Mamba. But now I understand. It's a shocker to everyone. Unbelievably sad, and one of the more tragic days that I think, well, for me, the reality is kind of sitting in because I was just told probably about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. You've been a Lakers fan your entire life. I know what Kobe meant to you. Joe LaCava says that you guys talk about him a lot on the golf course. What will you remember most about him as a player, but most importantly, as a man and father?
The fire. He burns so competitively hot, and the desire to win. He brought it each and every night on both ends of the floor. Not too many guys can say that throughout NBA history, that he'd lock up on D. Obviously, he was dominant on the offensive side, but anytime he was in the game, he'd take on their best player and just shut him down for all 48 minutes. And that was one of the more impressive things, I think, throughout this entire career. And then, when he ruptured his Achilles and went to the foul line and made his shots, that's tough.
Good game, tough loss, who cares? Most importantly, appreciate you all letting the locker room be tonight. Everybody's pretty emotional about the tragedy with Kobe, and all of us know what a great player he was, but he went beyond great playing. He was a competitor that goes unmatched, and it's what made him as a player so attractive to everybody. That focus, that competitiveness, that will to win, and even more importantly than that, we all feel a deep sense of loss for what he meant to all of us in so many ways, and so many millions of people loved him for so many different reasons. It's just a tragic thing that there are no words that can describe how everybody feels about it. So we all think about the family. and the process that they're going to be going through now. That's where all our thoughts should be.
It's very difficult for me to put in words how I feel about the loss of Kobe Bryant. As a young boy, I met him when he was 11 or 12 years old. I was friends with his dad, Joe. We were former adversaries. Joe played for the 76ers, but he was a good friend and someone that I shared a friendship. And it's hard for me to understand now how this is affecting Joe and his wife. So to Kobe's family, I want to send my most sincere and heartfelt regrets and prayers, and my thoughts are with you guys. Kobe was an incredible family man. He loved his wife and daughters. He was an incredible athlete and a leader in a lot of ways. He inspired a whole generation of young athletes. He was one of the first ones to leave high school and come into the NBA and do so well, dominating the game and becoming one of the best scorers that the Los Angeles Lakers has ever seen. I had the privilege of being there when he scored his 81-point game, and it was something that I will always remember as one of the highlights of the things that I have learned and observed in sports. Kobe, my thoughts are with you. Absolutely. Rest in peace, young man. This loss it's just hard to comprehend. Go with God.
I met him back in the day at a Nike camp, and he was just very encouraging to me. And he's just been an idol of mine ever since I was little. Like his mentality, his work ethic. I mean, I think everybody in my position, everybody in the league, he's a legend to us. We all look up to him, and it's just, man, I didn't think it was real.
Even if you didn't know Kobe or even met him, watching him and just so much he did for his community and others and the impact he had, I feel like you knew him.
I'm just going to make a brief statement on behalf of the Nets organization, and we'd like to express our sincerest condolences to the Bryant family and everybody affected by the tragedy. As an organization, we're devastated. Our players are devastated. We have a player that was very close to Kobe. That's our thoughts and prayers are with him also. Just a tough time for the NBA, for all of us. But that's really all I have to say.
Well, I mean, it's obviously shocking and it's tragic. I just had a conversation with him about maybe three and a half weeks ago, and just brief. I mean, I don't want to get into this thing, but just an incredibly, a brilliant man and incredibly passionate about, our game, driven. It was really, I mean, I'd say an honor, to even have had the chance to be around him for one season.
Obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and Vanessa and the kids, and just an unbelievable tragedy.
Your own thoughts of having,
Well,
spent time
I mean, it's just like with everybody. He's one of the greatest players ever, an unbelievable competitor. Earned everything, every accolade he got, he earned. He just kept coming at you, and there won't be many like him, that's for sure.
I mean, this is devastating, man. This one hurt to the core to hear news like that before the game. It's tough to say. It was tough to stay focused. That's just tough to hear news like that before the game. Guy you admire, guy you looked up to, and I just wish all their families, they need all the support that they can get. I mean, all the support they can get, because that's just the toughest. So devastated. That's the toughest thing you could ever deal with.